Kevin Colbert's legacy. He's now no longer the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers. When I say the name Kevin Colbert, what comes to mind? What kind of legacy does he leave in the city of Pittsburgh?
Savage. Like, if you want to deal with a transparent general manager, somebody who's not going to sugarcoat nothing, going to tell you exactly how it is, leave it black and white, take all the gray area out of it, whether you want to hear it or not, that's Kevin Colbert. And by the end of the day, you got to respect it. From myself to Troy Polamalu to Big Ben. Kevin Colbert, in my personal experiences, has always been transparent. He just told you how it felt, whether he thought you had a little bit of gas in the gas tank or your gas tank was empty. And he explained why. But he wasn't sugarcoating it. He didn't put any stats behind it. He didn't put any Pro Bowls or non-Pro Bowls behind it. He said exactly how he felt. Now, Kevin Colbert got a nice little background himself. What people don't understand about Kevin Colbert was he was a savage in hockey. You know, born and raised in Pittsburgh, family from Pittsburgh, went to Detroit, did a little GM, came to Pittsburgh and wound up doing being the general manager for Pittsburgh, winning 2 Super Bowls under his belt. But when you ask people who used to understand and know Colbert from when he was small, they said when it came to their hockey, he was a damn dog. So he always had that mindset and that mentality. But that's all I remember about Kevin Colbert. He let me get away with a lot of things. I don't think, other than Ocho, I don't think there was too many active players that got to sit down in a draft, on draft day, in draft meetings, scout and general managers meetings. That's what Colbert allowed me to do sometimes. So I just tip my hat to Colbert's legacy. I'm sure he's about to be a Hall of Famer in a couple of years, and he deserves it. He deserves it as well. But yeah, that's him and our relationship. He let me get away with a lot of stuff as I was playing.
When you say he's a savage, Ike, and you can leave out names, you can leave out specifics, but when you're talking about player evaluation and you're in the room sometimes discussing, okay, who should we draft? Which prospects should we consider? What were some of those conversations like in that? What was it like to be in that room? When you say he's a savage, what do you mean by that?
Savage as in not letting. So early on our show, we talked about your gut instincts.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kevin Colbert. So your presentation can be A1. From height, size, speed, to background checks, to what you think this kid can do in the first, second, or third round, or first, second, or third year, and it can sound real good. But if Kevin Gut said, nah, that ain't it, that's exactly what it was. It's not it. So he ain't never let nobody dictate to him. So that's why I look at him as the eyes. He's the former general manager from the Baltimore Ravens, and Kevin Colbert. Them two boys on 2 different levels. That's why I think they're Hall of Famers, because they do what we talked about earlier. They really do rely on trust their gut instincts.
And so there's a lot that goes into that in terms of, you know, the background checks, the measurables, the statistical production, what the tape shows you, all of that. Was there any one circumstance that you can recall where it's like, when I think back of my time with Kevin Colbert, that's what I'll remember about him?
Yeah. At the age of 6, he told me when my son came to practice, I remember this clip. That's when Crocs came out. My son came to practice at the age of 6, and Ivan had some Crocs on. He said, "Your son is a safety." I said, "What?" He said, "Man, I see his build. I can see where he's going. I see the way he walks. Your son is going to be a safety at the next level." And guess what my son plays right now, Mark?
I know the answer to this. West Orange High School's very own Ike.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
it's just like, but some guys just have that. He have that eye. You know how it is you know how a barber never went to barber school but can cut his butt off. You know how a mechanic never went to a mechanical school but he understands everything in a car and can tell you just by how it sounds what's wrong with it. That's Kevin Colbert. Kevin Colbert just have a knack on drafting and have an eye on players without even having to do no research. That's what made Kevin Colbert so special.
I just hope that Kevin Colbert is not a victim of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the haters saying, "Oh, there's already too many Steelers in the Hall of Fame." Give credit where credit is due. Two Super Bowl titles. Like, show me other front office executives that have the credentials that he does. I'll sit here and wait. There are only a handful. Like, so.
Yeah, and we talking about it on one hand. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Colbert, him and Oz in the league of their own. So, I mean, Kevin Colbert had a Hall of Fame career. That's what he's headed in my mind.
And we'll see what happens with Kenny Pickett too, which is his departing gift to the Pittsburgh Steelers.